So good morning, everyone. We are prepared to start. It is exactly 9:01, so we're 1 minute behind. So welcome to the President's Task Force on 21st Century Policing public hearing. This is day 2 for us in Cincinnati, and once again, we really appreciate the university for hosting us and for the support that we received while we're in town, so thank you. My name is Ron Davis. I'm the Director of the Department of Justice Cops Office. On December 1st, President Obama announced his intent to form a presidential task force, the President's Task Force on 21st Century Policing, to address a couple issues. You'll hear more from the co-chairs more in depth about that order, but in general, is to talk about the issue of building trust between police and the communities. And as we are aware of right now, in many of our communities, and not all of them, there is this tension that exists, and so the President wants concrete recommendations from this task force on how to improve upon that trust, strengthen the relationship, so that we can continue to advance public safety and continue this downward trajectory of crime reduction that we've been experiencing for the last 10 years or so. And so on December 18th, President Obama signed the executive order. He at that point named the 2 co-chairs that would lead the task force, and that is Philadelphia Police Commissioner Charles Ramsey and George Mason Professor Laurie Robinson, who's also the former Assistant Attorney General for the Office of Justice Programs at the Department of Justice, and actually in 2 administrations, both President Obama's and President Clinton's, if I'm correct. And you'll hear more about from the co-chairs. The COPS office, as part of that executive order, was identified and tasked with providing administrative support, so it is our great honor on behalf of the COPS Department and the Department of Justice, and it really was the Justice Department to support the task force. So in that capacity, I serve as the executive director for the task force, working with the co-chairs and the great members of the task force. My team is around on the side and in the audience. They're doing an outstanding job supporting this effort, so I want to thank them ahead of time. At this point, I do want to also make it clear for the members of the audience, or the public, that we will have a public comment part. I believe that is at, I want to say 3:30, but we'll have an opportunity to have speaker cards where if you want to make comments. We're also taking comments online. Today's public hearing is being broadcasted via webcast and live stream. You can go to the COPS website to actually watch this, and we'll put up tapes later of the actual hearings themselves. And so with that, I will now turn it over to co-chairs to open up the session and to lead the task force.
Well, good morning and welcome everyone for day 2 of our public hearings for the President's Task Force on 21st Century Policing. I too want to thank the University of Cincinnati for allowing us to use this space. And I want to thank all of you that watched us or were here yesterday during the testimony and back again today. Yesterday we had a very interesting discussion around policy and oversight. Today we'll be tackling 2 other topics, technology and social media. As Ron Davis mentioned, my name is Chuck Ramsey. I'm currently the police commissioner in Philadelphia. I've served in that capacity the last 7 years. Prior to that, I was police chief in Washington, D.C. for 9 years, and I began my career in the Chicago Police Department. I'm a native Chicagoan, and I spent 30 years as a member of the Chicago Police Department. This is a very important task that we were given by the President. All of us know that there have been a lot of issues surface over the past several months, and we aren't looking at specific incidents, but certainly we want to address many of the issues surrounding policing today and in the future, and that's the purpose of this task force. We do have a very aggressive timeline, March 2nd, which is only a month away, to have a draft report on the President's desk. We will meet that timeline. So again, I want to thank all of you for your testimony, and it's going to be very, very helpful as we begin to formulate the recommendations that will go to the President. With that, let me introduce my co-chair, Laurie Robinson. Laurie?
Thank you so much, Commissioner Ramsey. I join my co-chair in welcoming everyone here today, both those who are present in the audience and those who are watching us on the telecast. I, too, found our testimony yesterday on policy and oversight very, very helpful. We had a very rich set of witness testimony over 5 different panels, very long day, but a very helpful day, in witnesses sharing with us a wide array of experiences and thoughts across a number of topics. This is our 3rd day of listening sessions, and we have several more to go on what, as my co-chair said, is a very important set of topics. And what we'll be addressing today in the area of technology and social media is certainly a vital area as well. I think so many people approach technology who are less familiar with it as kind of a quick fix area. But as we know, it is far more nuanced set of issues. And so we really welcome the experts who are going to be with us today to help us in understanding some wise ways in which technology can be used. And we have with us a wonderful panel to start us off, which I'll introduce in a couple of minutes. My own background is one, I've been working in the criminal justice area for over 3 decades. As Ron Davis said, I'm currently a professor at George Mason University, but I've worked in criminal justice policy throughout my career, including the time at the Department of Justice. Before I turn to the task force members to introduce themselves and make some comments, I did want to specifically acknowledge the assistance of some of the people who have been supporting us. The team at the COPS office has been terrific. Ron Davis has just done a terrific job, but also his staff. Malanka Clark, the chief of staff, and her team have been terrific. But in addition to that, our technical advisors, Daryl Stevens, Steve Rickman, and then Jim Koppel and Colleen Koppel with SAI. So I did want to specifically acknowledge them. I now want to turn to the task force members, and we're going to start with Roberto Villaseñor down at the end here, and then work our way down. Roberto?
Good morning. As Laurie said, my name is Roberto Villasenor. I'm the Chief of Police for the city of Tucson, Arizona. In Tucson, we're dealing with quite a few issues revolving around immigration. We're also very innovative in technology. We helped to develop a program called CopLink with the University of Arizona Research Lab, and that's kind of set us on this road of technology that we've tried to stay very involved with. So I'm real excited about today's topics and the issues of technology, and also not only the development of the tools to help us, but also the policy that oversees how we interact with that technology, the effects it has on our job performance, and how it can help us to do a better job in serving the public. So thank you.
Good morning. My name is Bryan Stevenson. I'm the director of the Equal Justice Initiative in Montgomery, Alabama. I'm a civil rights attorney. I've spent most of my career representing people accused of crimes and challenging conditions of confinement and addressing the issues that emerge in communities who feel targeted and menaced by law enforcement and the criminal justice system entirely. I'm really grateful that all of you are here and look forward to your testimony. There are a range of issues that we're very interested in learning more about in ways that social media and technology can help us and communities bridge the gap that sometimes emerges. So I welcome you for today's hearings.
Good morning. My name is Shawn Smooth. I'm the Director and Chief Counsel for the Police Benevolent Protective Association of Illinois and the Treasurer of the National Association of Police Organizations. I've spent the last 20 years of my career advocating on behalf of rank-and-file police officers, both in the state of Illinois and across the United States. Today's hearing is really exciting for all of us, I think. The emerging technology is going to really change the way that policing happens in the 21st century, and I don't think any of us don't appreciate that. And this technology raises a lot of questions and a lot of issues that, frankly, on a scale we've never had to deal with before. So I'm also anxious to hear your testimony and look forward to working with the rest of the task force on coming up with some good recommendations for the president. Thank you for being here.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Connie Rice. I am an attorney. I work with the Advancement Project. And for the first half of my career, I sued a lot of police departments. But in the second half of my career, which I'm well into, I end up working with police departments all over the country to help them merge with the community and understand the community and work with as opposed to against the community. I'm very grateful to our co-chairs for leading us through this process. I hope that what comes out of this is a set of recommendations that show police departments how to merge culturally with their communities so that they are one with the community. If police are not a part of the community turns on them. And so I've been about the business of showing police departments how to merge with their local populations, and I've helped LAPD do that to a large extent.
Good morning. I'm Sue Rahr. I come from Seattle. Go Hawks! I didn't wear my jersey this morning, even though I threatened to. I became a police officer in 1979. I started as a road deputy and spent 33 years working my way through the ranks of the King County Sheriff's Office, which is the metropolitan area around Seattle. I didn't know at the time, but that was actually my training, that 33 years to do my current job, which is to oversee the police academy in Washington. We have a single academy that trains all local police officers. And that has been a thrill and a challenge, and I'm so grateful to be part of this task force because the things I'm learning today are going to help me train our next generation of cops, and hopefully some of the lessons we learn will be translated across the entire country. Thank you.
Tracy?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Tracy Meares. For the last 20 or so years, I have been a law professor, first at the University of Chicago, and now at Yale. My area of study has primarily been criminal law, criminal procedure, researching police legitimacy, and looking into ways in which police can attain public safety while also promoting public trust. I'm especially interested in taking a deep dive in the topics that we're exploring today because of the ways in which I think these kinds of technologies can advance both of those interests.
Good morning. My name is Brittany Pacnet. I'm Executive Director of Teach for America in St. Louis, which is my hometown. I grew up and still live about 12 minutes from Ferguson and have been an engaged activist during this time. And so I'm coming to this particular panel or this particular day, certainly with a listening stance, but from the perspective of someone who has been deeply involved in social media during the last 176 days now since Michael Brown's death. We have been often derided as the hashtag activism generation, and yet we see an entire group of people that have been radicalized through the use of social media, conference calls, webcasts, et cetera. And so I'm extremely interested in ensuring that that continues to be a factor in the work that we do. And also coming to this as someone who was viewing the movie Selma on the day that the grand jury verdict returned on Eric Garner. And so after seeing that video multiple times, am concerned about the way in which we could potentially be seeing body-worn cameras alone as a singular solution. And so I'm very interested in the recommendations around policy, around body-worn cameras and other technologies to ensure that we see justice and equity in our communities.
Good morning. My name is Jose Lopez. I am the lead organizer at Make the Road New York, an organization that I have been a part of in Bushwick, Brooklyn, now with offices across New York City and Long Island for 15 years. I've spent the majority of my time thinking about issues of police accountability, but also doing other work around issues of housing rights and workers' rights. We are a member of CPR, Communities United for Police Reform, an unprecedented campaign in New York City to challenge bias-based practices and policies of the New York Police Department. And we are currently working in partnership with the CUNY Graduate Center and the Public Science Project and a team of 12 youth researchers from Bushwick on the impact that the Stop, Question, and Frisk program has had on young people across New York City between the ages of 14 and 24.
Good morning. My name is Cedric Alexander. I'm currently the Public Safety Director in DeKalb County, Georgia, a suburb there of Atlanta. And also currently I'm the National President of NOBLE, National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives as well also. Been in law enforcement now, this is my 38th year. I am a trained clinical psychologist doing my doctoral work not very far from here over in Dayton, and on to do postdoc work both at University of Miami and University of Rochester. Thank you.